Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Teacups from Original Content in HD, joined as always by the one, the only Scarface King. Say hello there.
Hello there.
So we're back at again with another podcast. It's been a while. I think we say that every single time. I don't actually know. When was the last time we did one of these? 2 months?
Months, bro. Months.
Okay.
I don't know how many months, but months.
I can't remember what we talked about in the last one, so that's good going forward. So we're probably going to end up repeating stuff as usual, but
That's fun.
yeah, enjoy listening. So we're playing something a little bit different today. Usually we play like Mario or any sort of ROM hack, something like that. We thought we'd go a little bit different, a little bit spicier, change up a little bit. We're playing FIFA, believe it or not. And it makes everything a lot easier for recording. It makes everything a lot easier for syncing. So yeah, you might see a lot more of this going forward. So let's just bang into it. We're playing the custom-friendly game modes because these are pretty fun. This is called Mystery Ball. It's basically in the name. The ball takes on like different unique boosts and stuff like that. The goals can be worth different values. And Robert gets really, really lucky while playing this. So that's cool.
No. Well, okay.
Yeah, you got me with that one. Actually, I don't know if fitness in it. I don't think fitness goes down in this, does it? But I think I did have any.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay, welcome back to the San Siro. Well, what we got straight away? Oh, is that pace already? Doesn't really help.
I'm a bit rusty anyway. So, still in podcast fashion, we're still going to talk about the same old shit. So.
I'm just going to talk about FIFA all day.
No. We can't be doing that now. Where you been?
I have been living and surviving.
Okay.
I've been at this really unknown business. You may not have never heard of it. It's called Amazon. See, I can't remember. Did we talk? Did we do a podcast last time?
Yes, you talked at length about your feelings about working at Amazon.
Okay, I'll try not to. Well, my feelings haven't changed. My feelings. Since then, I went through the Christmas period of peak. They force you to do overtime hours. We did 5 days of 55 hours, or 11.5-hour shifts, pretty much, and it nearly killed me. How the fuck did he save that?
Luck.
It was not fun. It really was not fun. Travel time was long as well. That's actually, I think, the first goal I've scored with Pepe. Travel time was not fun, so I was literally just waking up, going to work, coming home, sleep, and yeah. At first, it wasn't too bad. Like the first week, I was like, okay, this is doable. But by the second week, felt like I just felt like a robot. And because of the lack of the sleep on my days off, I was just sleeping. Then suddenly I was waking up on Saturday again, just like, oh my god, I got to do it all over again. So it's nice that that's over. It could be worse because I was reading into it, like over the recent years, Americans were forced to do 6 days a week of 10.5-hour shifts.
Wow.
And literally, I just thought in my situation, if we had to do that, I would just be working non-stop. Like literally on my day off, I'd just sleep and go back to work. I swear to God, did that go in?
Bro, that was...
what the hell just happened?
It was offside, but that was the best goal I've ever scored.
I thought they get that for handball or something. I was like, bro, they do this?
No. Fucking sick, like, shoulder play through ball. Okay, whatever.
Okay. But yeah, so the Americans, they usually get quite screwed over. But yeah, it's nice that it's over. Going forward, I'm obviously working at a job. I got to go work later today, which sucks ass. But it's nice to have 4 days off over Christmas. I've got Christmas Eve off and Christmas Day because of the night shift and stuff. Day shift had to go in on Christmas Eve, which is really pointless because surprisingly in the whole warehouse, we did everything. We packaged every shipment for the next week, which was kind of mad. But yeah, going forward, oh man, needs a new job, you know what I'm saying? So going into this new year, new decade, we can't say new years, new fucking decade. I'm going to be looking for whatever I can, probably hopefully something IT related maybe. I want to go back to day shift. Like I don't mind honestly doing night shift. It's just, it screws your next day. Like recently, Robert and another one of our friends wanted to meet up in London, and it was on a Thursday, and I came in from work at like 8:30 in the morning. I was just like, if I want to get the bus to London, or not the bus, I'll imagine the bus all the way to London. If I want to get the train to London, I'm going to have no sleep literally at all, and I was just like, oh, I can't be doing that.
Yeah, that's not really... Though, situations have changed a little bit. You can drive now.
Yeah.
So once you're a bit more like
confident
on the road.
Yeah, I'll end up driving over and
out.
stuff like that, which won't be too bad. But yeah, that's just the thing with night shift. Pretty much your next day is screwed when you're trying to get back into the routine. Because, well, this is the thing, because of these 4 days off, I woke up yesterday naturally. I think I'm turning into you, right? I woke up naturally yesterday at 5 in the morning, and I felt decent. I was like, I'll start streaming. So I streamed for 8 hours. I was just like, what the fuck do I do with my life now? I still got the rest of the day. And then today I also naturally woke up at 6, and well, I don't have. Well, when I woke up, I was like, I don't have work for like another 12.5 hours. So it's like, so I'm gonna be really tired tomorrow morning. So yeah, any job I can find that's a day shift, I'll fuck with that. Where is this play coming from? Oh, I see you painted Zidane straight away. I wasn't gonna do that. I was just gonna sub him on.
What do you mean?
Oh shit, yeah. So any job I can get with like day shift, a job that's better, even if the pay is slightly worse. I just want a job that I'm looking for. Like nobody really looks forward to work. Like even some professional sports stars don't look forward to work. But like I want a job that I wake up like, you know what? I don't mind going in today, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I think at the moment I'm just trying to save up as much money as I can. Just earn as much as I can right now, and hopefully within the first few months, send off my CV. I'm gonna like redo my CV over the next week, then start sending it off now, and hopefully early January or late January get some interviews, and we'll just see what happens really. So that's where I've been.
Well, where I've been is I missed. Okay. Similar sort of thing. Haven't had quite as brutal an experience as you did, but did have a lot of work. Did of course have the Christmas fun, which it gets busy at basically every job, but some worse than others, I suppose. And I've also been for a little while. I kind of went off the radar because I was working on setting the framework, the groundwork for the ORA2 database. I put a lot of effort into that, and I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
And then I realized I fucking hate the game. So I was kind of at a loss, and basically, I don't know, not in a good position, because I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I was like, yeah. And then I realized I'm not the only one that hates it. Like
everybody,
the server, like I would say 90% of the people that were chatting before are all gone. It's only like a handful of people that are still like really into it.
Just that too.
And you have to really be into it because it's like it's one of those
game.
super meta-driven games where you have these specific builds and shit.
You sweaty fucking bum.
My boy Podolsky, let's go. And I'm kind of at a point where I'm falling behind on like the Jamputi database, and I haven't been able to make many YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I kind of just have decided to say I'm not going to work on it on the RA2 database. If anybody else wants to, if anybody else out there is listening and they want to use what I've already set up, and just like all you got to do is put in the data and then it's done, then you can, but I will not personally be working on it anymore. I'll help. Oh my god. I'll help out if there's like any technical stuff that needs to be done. I'll anything that needs to be done on the website itself. But I'm not doing any data entry for that game. I'm not doing any translations for that game. I am jaded and full of
rage.
Rage is quite accurate, because
game shit.
We got to talk about it a little bit, because it's kind of a big thing that happened in the decade, but also sort of specifically in this year. They took a game which I loved, and they stopped making content for it, and then they turned it into a new game which I hate. And as compensation, they gave me a load of bullshit, which isn't much good to me.
Yes, I agree. The game sucks ass.
So I know some people do like it, but the reality is anything there is to like about this game, you can just like about Summoner's War, which is the game they copied and pasted it from.
Oh, don't say that. It's original
go
content.
Play Summoner's War, like I tried so hard to stay positive, and the more I played, the more I hated not only the game but myself. And I said, I'm just not doing this to myself. Like, there are some games that are legitimately like, oh, it's not that good. There's games where it's like, you know, sometimes it's good. It has a lot of highs, a lot of lows. And there's games like FIFA. Objectively, this game has a horrible, gacha system.
Yeah,
really.
pay to
It is
win.
a gacha system. But you don't like. I'm completely, other than buying the game, I haven't spent any money on like FIFA points or anything.
Same.
Fuck. Well, you have, but you got donated for it, so it's a bit different. But I haven't spent any money on FIFA points, and I'm still like, my team's shit, but like, you can still enjoy the game. You don't have to spend bare peas. Oh, great.
Oh, good, yeah, great. This game's good. But yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's fine. It's whatever. But there are other games where like if I'm not even enjoying the gacha on your game,
That's how you
just
know
what's
you
the
failed.
point? That's the only reason I was playing. The whole thing with Ori Collection was I wanted to collect all these characters, and the reality is, like, I don't want to collect all these characters on Ori 2, but even if I did, like, getting all the 5 stars would be like
Impossible.
so close to impossible without spending so much money, which I'm never gonna spend money on your shit game. Never. You can fuck off. You are the worst fucking devs I've ever seen. I don't give a shit if the game you made is functional. Sure, okay, you're good in that respect, but the game you made makes me hate myself and hate you even more.
It makes me cry. I hate
got that little bit of vinegar out of the way.
I hate that some units have well, I think, is it all units that have multiple
All
colour
units have
versions?
multiple colours.
Yeah,
All
that's
units have multiple colours.
that's bare gay.
What I don't understand, I get it because like, oh, that's how Summoners War did it, but like, you could have just used different you could use different versions of the same character rather than having different colors. You could have had like Super Saiyan Goku is the black one, and the white one is Super Saiyan 2, and the green one is Super Saiyan 3, and the, you know, or you could have done it like the blue one is Vegeta and the red one is Trunks, and
Ooh, that can be cool.
like you could have done anything, and you just
Didn't.
this shit. Anyway, it's just one of those things where like, I've got to make peace with the fact that I'm not going to play it. There's so many games over the years where I've been, oh yeah, maybe like Smash Tap, Smash Rising, all that.
I swear to
Oh
God.
no!
Nobody plays
There's so many
Smash
games
Tap.
where I was like, I will play it, and then I didn't. But I kept convincing myself to log in every day and do daily missions and all that, even though I knew full well I would not play it.
Yeah, Robert's the only one that logged into like Ori Collection 2 pretty much every single day, or Ori Collection 1.
And I loved Ori Collection 1, and now it's gone, and I accept that, and I move on. It's never coming back. This new game is never going to be what Ori Collection 1 was. They have taken what you had and given you compensation that is worth significantly less than that. And, you know, that's life, isn't it?
You know what? I'll allow you that in it.
Safe.
Other than that, have you played any other gacha games?
I have. I've been playing Jump Hootie a lot, as you know. That's basically
What will you do?
the pillar of content on our channel. And I've been trying some others. I've been trying to get back into Dokkan
Okay.
a little bit. I've been looking about getting back into OPTC a bit more. 7 Deadly Sins I was pretty much ready to get back into properly, but I made the decision to wait until the global version came out, and then I'd start playing it, because it's not like I can't like use the guides. They've made some fucking, the guys in that Discord, the guys on the Reddit, like all that, they've made some quality translation guides, a database, everything. They've done all the footwork. But I just there's just too many games, and there's too much shit you have to remember, and I just can't be asked anymore.
I swear to God, the gay. You are the worst goalkeeper in this game.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, Zidane.
Oh, whale. What? Oh, it's speed boost.
No.
Oh. Well, for me personally, I have played Nothing actually. I tried. I began to Legends because like the banners and shit. Like the gameplay in that game is fun, but I don't know. Like Seven Deadly Sins.
I've noticed this. Some of these gacha games are so technically impressive. It's like, oh wow, like it looks better than like a PS3 game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not like it's a gacha game. It's supposed to be kind of shit.
It's supposed to take
like
your
if
money.
it's too good, it's gonna take a lot of time for me to play the game and all this shit. And like I don't need a time-consuming game. I don't need a game that requires a lot of my attention. Like it can require my attention sometimes, but not for every single battle.
True. Like co-op on like Dragon Ball Legends is like, it can take quite long.
It's like yeah, cool, but also like sometimes you just need something that you can just like not pay attention to.
Yeah, good little.
And it doesn't need to be impressive. It just needs to run well.
Japuti.
Right, beatable.
No. Like I don't know what it's about Seven Deadly Sins. Like the game is really well made. It's like all good and shit. And it's just like I don't like the IP.
I mean, you know, if you don't like the series, you don't like the series. That's the bottom line. Like, there's so many games over the years people have said like, "Oh, you should play this, you should play that." It's like, if I haven't watched the series, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, I don't play these games because they're like really good. There are games that I play that are really good. I play those on PC. I play those on Xbox, whatever. A lot of gacha games are not very good, and that's perfectly fine. I don't need them to be good.
Just need them to take my money and make clickbait YouTube videos.
I need them to like. Oh wow.
Bruh, I didn't even want that pass to go over there. The game fucked me.
I need them to play for my nostalgia, and I need to be able to collect a bunch of goodies, and I need to be able to do a load of pulls, and that's it.
That's all a man wants in life. That's what Jesus wrote in the Bible.
Yeah.
Thou shalt pull and gacha game. I swear to God, you're gonna sweat this somehow.
Oh,
this goalkeeper is the worst in the.
It's the hair, isn't it?
Yeah, so not your own fucking keeper.
Oh, Zidane, easy.
My nan could have saved that. Oh wait. Okay, let's go, boys. Let's go. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Oh,
I don't even know how that's worth. It's probably worth like 2.
No, it's times 3. It's times 3.
Oh, we equal. Oh shit.
So yeah, in terms of gacha games, I don't even know if there's like the Hunter x Hunter game. I'm definitely gonna give a go.
Fair enough.
Other than that, I'm kind of enjoying not having as many to play.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting off a crack addiction, really.
I don't have the same amount of time that I used to.
Yeah.
So there is that, but also just like it's a lot of effort for like quite often not a lot of payoff.
Yeah, the sign-in did the dailies and all these games. Like Naruto, I haven't logged into Naruto Global Japan for I don't even know 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even think of some of the other ones like Stardust Shoes and stuff like that, which was objectively I quite like the artwork and stuff. I haven't logged into that for 3-4 months. Oh my god, the pace! Get the right beatable!
Oh,
Jesus
no!
Christ! I don't know, but
Just...
I feel like I'm just moving on to more actual, normal, conventional games recently, like COD, FIFA.
Same.
Just these mobile games just felt like a phase that we went through for a couple of years. Now it's like back to the old shit.
The thing is though, I do like it's one of those things where if I pick up a gacha game again, I will enjoy it. But because of the nature of them, they end up being actually more expensive than AAA titles.
Yeah.
Unless you play completely free to play, but that's incredibly time consuming and sometimes very disappointing. Whereas like if you buy a AAA title, you just play it and enjoy it. And,
oh
wow.
My god. I might just discard this to gay, I swear down.
It's the like Inform one as well, isn't it? It's the Christmas one.
I think I'll put Kyle Walker in goal, to be honest.
Oh, that's better. Oh, incidentally, we'll talk about football later. Actually, we'll talk about football at the end.
That's always the ending, though.
That's always the ending. Other than that, I did want to have a quick discussion because it is the end of the decade. Because it is the end of the year. Your best stuff, end of year and end of decade. best game, best YouTube channel, maybe, I don't know, best
ContentHD.
movie, like whatever, best whatever.
I haven't really thought about it. So if we look about best game, it's hard to think really. I guess.
Give me this year,
this year.
and then give me decade.
This year. So what came out this year? Second.
I already got my answers for a couple of these because it's just like it's just set in stone, really. But.
Yeah, because of the situation I had this year, I haven't really played as many games as I usually would. I'm just trying to think something I'd put maybe a lot of time into. FIFA 20. I guess I'd probably go like maybe something like Sekiro because that was good. Obviously I didn't give it the time it deserved. Just trying to think what I streamed. Oh shit! I'm actually so a little bit bamboozled. For now,
it's hard to remember.
Yeah, it's hard to remember. It's been a whole year. Obviously, a lot of games have come out and shit. I just can't remember what I played, to be honest. Like, I think I'll have to come back onto that one a little bit later. As I think I might even have to get up like a list online.
Well, let me give you mine.
Okay.
And then you can have a little think about it. So, my best of this year is Sekiro. Undoubtedly, I'm still playing that game. It's incredible, and it's like it's hard. Fuck yeah, it's hard, but I just keep going. There's something about a game where it's like, oh, I fucked up, I'll go again. Oh, I fucked up, I'll go again. That's part of why I think Jumpooty has quite a nice touch to it, where a lot of the stages, well, all of the stages, you try, and if you lose, you don't lose any stamina. If you win, it takes the stamina.
Okay.
So if there's a harder bit of content, you can just try until you beat it, and it's not going to cost you anything.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I liked in those other games. Sekiro, on the other hand, actually does kind of like, it does cost you a little bit to retry, you know. But other than that, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. I like the visuals. I think like one of our mates said to me, "You only like it because it's Dark Souls, but for weebs." And it's like, well, yeah, to an extent, you're not wrong, but like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's still a very good game regardless. And I don't know, it's my first experience with anything like that. Never played Dark Souls, never played Bloodborne, never played anything like that. And I very much enjoyed it. So that's definitely my 2019 favorite game. But as for the decade, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, but it kind of has to be Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Global Offensive.
Yeah,
because between us, we've probably got like 6,000 hours in that game. I don't know, like some ridiculous amount.
Yeah. I would agree.
Like, we just played that game so much, and it feels weird because like I started playing that like at uni, but it was before you came to uni. Yeah. So we went to the same uni, but it was before you got me into the game, and you were playing it before that even. And since then, we both like finished uni, graduated from uni, both got jobs. Like, so much time has passed since then.
Still playing,
and we still will sometimes go and play CS. Like,
yeah, that has to be. Yeah, no, nothing. Well, Gary's mod, I'd say second.
Gary's mod was what got us into. For me, that was like my first proper PC gaming sort of thing. Like, yeah. I didn't even really like. There was other things like browser games and shit, but there was no proper games until Gary's mod.
Fair enough.
So.
Okay, I'd agree with you on that one.
You agree? Okay,
yeah.
That's good.
I can't think what else I'd put in. Like, I remember, like, over the decades, like this decade, some of the CODs, like I really like Black Ops 2. I put a lot of hours into that.
That's true. Black Ops 2 is really nice.
Like some of the
COD Zombies in general.
Yeah.
It's always been like a favorite of mine. And I know some people say like, oh, games where you need your friends in order for it to be fun. Like, that means the game's not fun. You're just like having good banter with your mates. But like, still, those games are like some of my best memories. So
that's what's up.
I don't even necessarily say.
I'd agree. I would agree. Like, early in the decade as well, FIFA was king for quite a while for me as well. But then just probably about 2016 onwards, it's just, I kind of was like, well,
Pretty much like since they cracked down on cheap coins. Like...
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of ruined it.
No, but for me, it was just like it's one of those things where yes, it is okay. It's the same game every year, whatever. But like games are moving to a point where it's like, how much playtime do you get out of a game? Probably not more than a year most of the time.
True.
So that's their way of trying to stay relevant. They release a new game, they release the new players, whatever. I dislike a lot of the things they do, but as long as I play it my way, which is to not spend any money beyond buying the game, I'm perfectly content with it.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I can't. Okay. Alright, so fair. Yeah, I agree. Like this year with gaming, I haven't gamed as much as I usually do, so I can't remember shit. We'll do another mystery ball. Over the decade, yeah.
Why did Pulisic get man of the match? Zidane scored a hat trick.
Oh, really?
Assist. They got a 10-point match rating.
It's probably the ball value, maybe the goal value.
That's whack.
But yeah, like this year, I can't think of anything. But decade, I'd agree, 100%. There's been some crazy good games over the decade. I can't. Yeah. Okay. What about movie? I'm curious about that one.
See, that's interesting because I do have something in my mind for what movie is, but although I have watched it over the decade, watched quite a few, I struggle quite a lot to pin down one. But for 2019, it's actually kind of easy. Is Avengers?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's your favorite movie. Oh, well, it's like, well, fuck off. Because the thing is, it was good, and it was like a saga of movies, and it's like, I think some people at the time did say it's like our generation's equivalent of when the original Star Wars movies came out, but on like even a bigger scale.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
So just like I enjoyed it.
It was a fun time.
It was kind of like it was like one of the only movies I actually was like, I need to go to a good cinema for this, and we need to like
go get a Tango Ice Blast.
Fuck yeah! And for the decades, I was actually kind of struggling because I know I've watched bare movies, I just can't think of any of them. So the first one that came to my mind, there was one I remembered that I really enjoyed. Was Chef with Jon Favreau.
Fair enough.
Great movie. But I just couldn't think of any others. I'm sure there are more. I just couldn't think of any others.
I've watched a lot of movies over this decade, and I'm in my head right now. I can't think of any. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. I think for this year in terms of movies, I'm probably gonna have to go with the Joker movie.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was really good bamboozle. I thought that was really good. Obviously, the Avengers was amazing.
That was this year, right? Avengers was this year.
Yeah, it was like April or something like that, I think.
Okay,
yeah. It was really amazing. I obviously expected it to be amazing, but I think for me, the Joker, I thought it was gonna be shit, and it wasn't. It was a big bamboozle, and I really enjoyed it. It was one of those really long movies that it didn't feel long. I was like, well, that went by really quick.
Okay.
I think recently I see a lot of movies that are they're good, but would I call them like decade defining? Like maybe not. So really, just what even came over this decade that was.
I mean, there must be loads. Like when you think about the decade, like it started when we were still in high school.
Oh,
so we must have seen tons of like movies since then. You know.
I would definitely like the franchise, yeah, as you said, over the whole decade of the Avengers movies and stuff like that, probably were the best over the whole decade.
It's kind of like a big iconic
yeah
thing for us, you know.
Like nailing down something though, like one movie, I don't think I can do it. Like I generally have to go away and make a list, like a proper like my anime movie list. Yeah, really.
Well, like we'll keep anime and manga separate.
Yeah,
that could be its own little thing.
I think I have to think.
I have some thoughts on that also.
Oh damn. I think for the decade, I'm gonna go for the Avengers movies as a whole.
Okay, I like that.
Because I generally just can't. I can't think of something that proper stood out to me. Because I'm the type of guy I'll watch a movie, but I generally won't watch it again, even if it's great.
It's rare for me to rewatch something, and in a way, it's kind of weird. So like, I put TV shows down, but like I couldn't really think of that much.
Whoops.
But while there are a lot of TV shows that are like, oh yeah, they're good, but like I don't personally like care that much. With something like Breaking Bad, which was like an iconic thing for like what that was right at the start of the decade, really.
Yeah.
But that was like a proper iconic thing at the time, and I still think that's a very good show. But with something like that, I would only watch it once. Whereas with like a comedy, with something like that, with something a bit more lighthearted, a bit less heavy, I would totally watch that multiple times.
Yeah, I'd agree with
So
that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's like a little bit different. Like I wouldn't watch Breaking Bad more than once, 100%. But like when I did watch it, I loved it so much.
I'd agree. No, I'd agree. Okay. Okay, you can talk about maybe. I bet you got like a category for TV series of the decade and TV series of the year.
Yeah, see, I was torn on TV series this year. I can't even think of one.
Like I've watched a lot of Netflix
Straight up
shit.
cannot. Netflix had some good shit this year.
A lot of Adam Sandler stuff, all great movies.
Of course.
But it depends. Like, does it have to be released in this year, or could you have watched it for the first time in this year?
Let's say you watched it for the first time in this year, because like otherwise it's going to be a little bit weird.
Okay. I'd say I know for me. This year, I watched The American Office. And
oh yeah!
once you get past season 1, I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down. I was like, oh, this
Which is funny because season 1 is the one that's most heavily based on the UK one.
Yeah, it was a bit too like it just didn't fit the character. How much of a dick he was. Like I've watched the UK Office as well. I could see it. I just didn't think Ricky Gervais's character could go for like 10 seasons type of thing.
No, definitely not.
I watched
not that it's bad. It's just like that kind of humor. After a while, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit much type of thing. Whereas when The Office became a lot more lighthearted, a lot more you could relate to it type of shit.
Yeah.
Not many people are going to have like David Brent as a boss or anything like that. They'd get fired in no time. Like at least with Michael, they actually made him a decent boss in the end, and he actually knew how to do his job sometimes.
But there's also like a big relatable part of it of like, you know, sometimes you're gonna have to work with dickheads.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and like, some people are just so surreal, you just cannot believe what they're doing. But
yeah,
there they are. So it's a very good show.
But for decade, I probably will go for Breaking Bad. Like the impact of Breaking Bad was mad. I still remember in the gap years when we would like go for football and at the weekend it'll be like gas like, oh, you see the Breaking Bad this week?
Did you see new episode?
It was like discussing that. It was like full bro, like it was sick. Like, it was such a good show. There was a lot of good TV shows. Obviously, Game of Thrones as well was like amazing, but they ruined the last season. But that doesn't discredit the previous seasons. They were really fucking spectacular. If it had a good ending, I would probably put that. If it had a good ending, I would put Game of Thrones, but they just ruined the ending, man.
I think, interestingly, I know we said anime separately, but I think the only thing that had that kind of like, oh my god, did you see the last like episode or whatever, had that same impact for me was Dragon Ball Super. When every time in the episode, I was like, oh shit, like everyone getting involved on like Twitter, talking to you, it's crazy.
I didn't. Nobody really knew how it was gonna end, and it was like, even when it ended, I was like, wait, what?
It's like, oh, it's just like, it's also because normally with anime, it's like, oh, but like in the source material, this happens, or in, you know, but there was none of that. There was no manga. Well, I mean, there was a Dragon Ball Super manga, but it was behind the anime, so there's no like manga dickheads being like, oh well, actually, or like spoiling it ahead of time or whatever. It was just content. It was just fresh, original, new content.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was kind of like being a kid again.
There's loads of things you could shit on about it, but it's Dragon Ball. Who gives a shit? Like, it was just an action movie. It was Vin Diesel or you know,
Fast and Furious 28.
You just watch it just because it is what it is, and it's fucking great.
Okay. Okay, all right. What should we go on to next? I'm curious now.
Okay, well, I was thinking next, we probably should talk anime
The forbidden words.
properly. And this has some potential to be a little bit controversial.
Okay.
But do you have an idea in your head?
Well, for like anime of this year, anime of like the decade. Oh fuck off!
Sweaty.
This year, I did start watching quite a bit at uni. Something that really maybe stuck out to me for this year. I watched a lot of good ones actually. Like Devilman Crybaby on Netflix was really good. How's that not foul? Dororo was pretty good actually. Boku no Hero Academia is pretty good at the moment. Yeah, Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone
is good. I think for this year, I'd have to either choose between Dr. Stone or Dororo, whatever it's called. I can never fucking pronounce it. I really enjoyed that. It was something a little bit different than the casual just shonen shit. But Dr. Stone's doing good. I'll go, like Dr. Stone runner-up. I'll go for Dororo for the year. That was good. And that intro was that first intro. It slapped. I'm actually gonna beat your ass.
For me, I find it a little bit tricky because when you think about the decade for anime, there's been so many, bro.
Yeah.
There's been so many. And it's like, someone asked me, well, didn't ask me, but they posted on Twitter, like, oh, what do what do you think of anime this decade? Because, so if you didn't see, in the Funimation Anime Awards, Kimetsu no Yaiba won Anime of the Decade.
I did see that, actually. That was recency bias and best.
Recency bias is, like, so huge with that kind of thing. But it's a little... But also, like, Funimation, I'm pretty sure, the ones that distributed Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Yeah, like, buy more.
So there's some bias there. Also, but I will say, don't get me wrong, I fucking loved Kimetsu no Yaiba. Kimetsu no Yaiba is one of my favorite anime and manga of all time. And I say anime and manga because it's very rare that I read a manga, love it, and then watch the anime, and then love it.
Okay.
And there's no, like, bad taste in my mouth afterwards. But there's so many series where it's like the anime's great and the manga's shit, or the manga's great and the anime's shit. Like Berserk, bro. Bro. You try and watch the new anime and you get whiplash after reading the manga. And you're like, is this really... I'll give that back.
Thanks, son.
I'm already slapping you.
Don't worry. Oh, for fuck's sake, Decay!
So I would say, like, if you said Kimetsu no Yaiba was the anime of the year, I'd agree. And some people disagree, and that's perfectly fine. Like, but there was lots of good anime this year. But Kimetsu no Yaiba for me was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But for the decade, I think about I watched so many good ones. I watched like Silent Voice.
That was good.
I watched like notable mention to Dragon Ball Super. It's not the anime of the decade, but
Close.
like, you got to bring it up in the conversation.
Was that a shot?
Shit shot. That was a shot. I don't know what happened there. You got to at least mention something like that. There was obviously Your Name, the movie.
That was good.
There was no Ribena. Wow.
Ribena.
And I'm trying to think of other ones that were like series, not movies. There was quite a few.
I know I'd pick for the decade.
Oh, go on.
I'd go for Erased.
Oh, okay.
I generally like that. The story was great, animation was great, everything about it was piff.
I respect that. And you know, when it's like, so like, say for example, there was something I watched. Fuck, what's it called? It's High Score Girl?
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like the manga style was like really gritty, just like the artist style was like really rough naturally. So when they made it into an anime, they did it all 3D, and it in no way looked bad in 3D. Like there was no reason for the CG to like. It's not like Berserk, where it's like you had this sick manga, and then I'm a shitter.
Got that right.
In Berserk, you had this amazing artwork, and then you've just turned it into these gross 3D models. Sometimes the 3D works. Sometimes pure 3D works just fine, and sometimes supplementing 3D works just fine, if not even better than just, you know, standard artworks. But with some of the anime, when it's just drawn and it just looks fantastic, and you're so like, oh, this is exactly how I wanted it to be.
And it's so
This
good.
is exactly what I wanted. It's so good. And that's why I'm a little bit, I think I talked about this a little bit in the last one. I'm a little bit disappointed Dorohedoro is getting adapted, and from what I've seen from the trailers, it's like they've tried to do that Kimetsu no Yaiba blend of like, oh, here's CG, here's the artwork. You can't really tell the difference though, but it's like you totally can, and it totally just looks wrong. And it's such a shame for a manga with like such gritty, such detailed art, which is the same problem Berserk had. So it's like finding an anime where I was like, yes on everything, yes on music, yes on art, yes on
Opening
voice actors, everything. It's very hard. It's very hard. I would probably say, for me, right, Haikyuu is probably up there.
Okay, volleyball man.
Because it's so good. But I think my winner would actually be Konosuba for the decade.
Fair enough.
So it's so funny. The art style is just so like, it so suits the story, and if you just equalized, oh my days. And yeah, I think Konosuba is I'm looking forward to the movie. I haven't been able to watch it because I don't live in Japan, and I don't know what the deal is with it coming to UK. I thought it was going to be on Crunchyroll. I was misled. I think I think Crunchyroll just but also they have their part in Isekai Quartet, and that's kind of good. Which again, Isekai Quartet is adding Shield Hero, which was another very good series this year.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I find it very hard to remember everything because I read so much, but there were so many good ones this year.
I consumed.
I consumed.
Okay.
I read a lot of the new ones as well this year. Like Chainsaw Man technically started last year. But officially it was in issue 1, 2019 of Weekly Shonen Jump. But it came out in December last year. Very good series. Act Age came out earlier in the decade, but again, a very good series. But like a lot of these don't have anime yet. So
make it.
For the ones that actually do have an anime, it's very hard to pick them apart, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. This is your like, you get the philosophers, get them in the room, talk about this to the end of time.
Well, it is one of those things that you could just keep talking about, because everyone would have a different opinion on what their favourite is. I mean, obviously, some people will agree with me, and there will be a lot of people who will be like, wow, I can't believe you chose this one over that one. And
You're not my friend anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's probably... I'm 100% sure there's some series we just, like, completely forgot.
It's it's hard with my little pea brain nowadays.
It's like, maybe I can get my Shonen Jump app open and see if there's an anime I've forgotten off the top of my head. Obviously, My Hero Academia gets a shout out, great series. One Punch Man.
Oh yeah, it's good.
One Punch Man Season 1 is fantastic. Season 2 is not. I know some people are like, oh, you're being unfair because this, because that. The bottom line is, the source material, Yusuke Murata's artwork, is some of the best art in any manga ever. The anime just wasn't... The second season of the anime wasn't up to snuff. It just wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fair enough. I didn't mind it. It was watchable.
It was watchable. Season 1 was fantastic, though.
Oh yeah, it made me calm.
So, it's disappointing. It's fair to be disappointed, I think.
I'm disappointed a lot.
I get disappointed a lot also. Promised Neverland. That anime came out.
It's decent.
Did it come out this year or did it come out this decade? Well, it definitely came out this decade.
Nah, man, 2008.
Oh, I tried to skill and I failed. Dr. Stone anime came out this year. It's still on. No, I think the last episode just aired like last week. I've been reading the manga, not watching the anime really, so it's a little bit different. But I definitely did read the anime. I definitely did. From what I saw like 2 episodes. It looked pretty good.
It was.
I'm really struggling here. My brain's really chugging.
It's too much, man. You consume too much. You like overwrites each other after a while.
I kind of did, you know. Black Clover is okay.
No, Rob, I love it.
It's one of those series where I enjoy it, and that's about it. I'm not going to try and sell you the Black Clover Bible. I don't care enough.
It's fair enough.
We Never Learn anime was this year, I believe, mostly this year. Pretty good. But it was probably the best out of that and Yuna, which also got adapted. The Yuna anime was not very good, but the We Never Learn anime was pretty good.
Okay. You consume way too much.
I did Boruto.
Nah, not for me.
Not really for me either. I don't hate it, and but I don't like it enough to be like, oh yay, Boruto, my favorite.
I swear to God.
Incidentally, it's looking a lot like Boruto is going to arrive in Jump Hootie before it arrives in Naruto Blazing.
Fuck yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That's also funny because that's Ori Collection took JoJo 5 before any of the JoJo games, and now Jump Hootie is going to take Boruto before any of the Naruto games.
You're an absolute child molester.
It's absurd. It's absurd. Blue Exorcist was actually one of my favorite anime, but the way they ended season 1 meant that season 2 had to be. Oh wow!
Didn't go in, bruh.
The way they ended season 1 meant that season 2 had to retcon a bunch of stuff because it's a monthly anime. I think they envisioned that it would just end, whereas the manga just kept going.
Oh.
So eventually they were like, oh, we actually do want to adapt the rest of the manga. And it's like, okay, great. Well, in that case, that ending you gave to season 1 is going to have to go straight in the bin. It's going to have to be like a fever dream that didn't happen. And I always think that's a little bit like, it's not the best way to do things. And it's a shame because they kind of treated Soul Eater the same way, where they were just like, okay, but we're just one season and then we're done. And it's like, oh, but what about, like, they're still writing it. It's like, yeah, but like, we're not going to wait.
It's over now.
And they just ended it their own way, and it was just kind of meh, whatever. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Robert could go on for about 10 hours about, here's my anime list.
I mean, I could. I struggle to remember what came out in 2010, though. Like, for all I know, Soul Eater could have been 2010, and if it was, it should be on the list. I did check Fullmetal Alchemist, which is... Brotherhood is probably one of my favorite anime of all time. I think that was 2009. So, a bit too early to be on this list, sadly.
Yeah, go back in time and watch our podcast from the last decade.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Man, when I think about it, was Brotherhood really 2009? Is that possible? Like, YouTube was still, like, barely existing back then.
There you go.
And, like, Brotherhood, like, looks amazing for the time. Like, could it really be 2000? Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know.
I'm not too sure because I still haven't seen it.
Maybe I'll check it after time. Fuck. How many's that worth? Just one. Just one.
It's only one.
Hunter x Hunter.
Shit.
Not from this decade. It's actually from the 90s.
Oh, a bit far back.
Still technically running though.
Technically.
Technically. Although, when was the last time you saw a chapter? Not this year, I'll tell you that.
Wait, really?
There hasn't been a new chapter this year.
Oh, wow.
Last chapter, like, I can't even remember what happened. But basically, they went through this period where they're on the boat. It's always the boats, man. I swear, it's always the boats. And it's just some dead boat arc. And some people are like, oh no, actually, it's really good. It's like, if it's good for you, it's good for you. That's great. I think I am also entitled to my opinion that it is a load of horseshit. And Togashi is a bit of a waste man.
Calling him out.
No, like, really, there's so much good in Hunter x Hunter. Like, if you go and read the end of the Chimera Ant arc, and I'm saying the end because I actually don't like the start at all. But if you read the end of the Chimera Ant arc, it's so good. And it's the same with Yu Yu Hakusho. If you read the Dark Tournament, oh my god, it's so sick. The end of Yu Yu Hakusho is just such a fucking mess, bro. There's so many scenes where it's like, oh yeah, Yusuke's actually a dickhead. It's like, oh really? It's like, oh yeah, whatever.
Bit better.
We'll pretend that didn't happen. The bit where he's like, oh, Ryzen, just like eat a load of humans. And I was like, you what, fam? It's like, no, just do it, innit? Like, I want you back at full strength. Like,
Happens.
you what?
Sacrifices need to be made, Robert.
Like, there was bare stuff that, like, it just kind of wasn't an important moment, I guess, but it kind of was. I don't know. The whole end of Yu Yu Hakusho is a mess. And the same with Hunter x Hunter. Everything after the World Tree is a mess. Not that there aren't some good parts to that, but it's all a mess. Wow.
At least Berserk has been consistently amazing.
Isn't that also on hiatus?
As always. When has it not been on hiatus?
I'm trying to think what, I don't know.
But we did get chapters this year.
A shout for manga, right? Manga of the year. I'm actually going to give it, some people might not believe this, to The Last Sayuki. Almost as like a...
Thanks to Gay.
Like, nice to see you. Never see you again. Sort of thing. Like, it was such a good anime in prospect, or manga rather, and we'll never see it again. So that's great.
Sounds good. Can't wait to read it.
Let me just quickly... Oh, I can't tab out. Shit, I got it on my phone.
You need to find out this information.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. 2009.
There you go.
That's mad that came out in 2009. Can I just say? That is mad. Wait, what was the other one I wanted to check? I can't remember. No, it doesn't matter. And yeah, for manga, I'm gonna give it to Last Sayuki. The reality is, that's just because it's never coming back. In another world, I'm giving it to Kimetsu no Yaiba because it's actually one of my favorite manga. But
fair enough. Why is Last Sayuki never coming back?
So what happened was, it was released as part of like loads of Shonen Jump series were ending. And so they did this thing that they sometimes do where they're like, fuck it, here's 5 new series, right? And in that batch was a manga about rugby.
Yes.
Which was mediocre at best. And there was a couple of other manga that like seemed okay. There was another one about Mahjong. Was it Mahjong or was it Go? Shogi? Japanese chess. Shogi. And that kind of went off on its own thing. I don't know what the fuck that one was doing. And I mean, basically every manga in that batch was just kind of like, okay, but is this really going to be the next like One Piece or whatever? But The Last Sayuki, like, it was like, I was like, every chapter I was like, yo, this is sick. And then I start hearing, oh yeah, it's not selling that great. Oh yeah, it's actually like not doing well in the popularity polls. And I'm like, nah, what do you mean? Look, it is sick. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's getting cancelled. I'm like, what? No, it's like building up to a good arc. And then it just ended. Oh my days.
Oh my god, what was that?
That was Lavetzi, fam.
Bruh. That's a bit of scripting right there.
When they put speed boost, they take off shooting. But in the end, they decided it wasn't good enough, and they dropped it. Which, I mean, I guess, you know, they're a business. If it's not doing the numbers, then it's got to go.
Really, yeah, fair enough.
But I was very upset because it's one of the only series they added where I was like, this has potential. This could be something really special. And we'll never know now. We'll never know. I think they cancelled it prematurely. That's just me. They're the professionals. They probably know better. That's how it is. And we're getting a new batch now to make up for even more series ending. Promise Neverland coming to an end. Kimetsu no Yaiba seemingly coming to an end. We Never Learn coming to an end.
One Piece coming to an end.
No. Like, Black Clover, One Piece, My Hero Academia have all got, like... If they wanted to, they could keep them each going for another 10 to 15 years.
Fuck.
They probably won't, but if they wanted to, they could.
No, One Piece ended in 5 years, 100%.
Oh, supposedly.
You
I
said
don't
that
know.
5 years ago.
And then there's... Jesus.
Oh, Jesus is
Okay.
a good manga.
I don't know, I think Haikyuu is a very good manga. If you were going to say manga of the decade, it would probably be up there. My Hero Academia probably be up there. Kimetsu no Yaiba probably be up there. Promise Neverland probably be up there. It's very difficult for manga of the decade. There's just too many.
One Piece.
I'm not going to count One Piece. It started in the 90s. It's never going to end. Like,
Fair
sure, a lot of significant stuff did happen. Actually, you know what? This decade, One Piece loses some points because it had two of the worst arcs for, like, going on too long.
Levetti's...
Whole Cake Island went on far too long.
Yeah.
And Dressrosa went on far too long.
Tell him, Robert.
It's the truth. They were good arcs. They went on too long. Bro.
Might have to pick up Aguero.
Who would have thought Aguero is better than Lavezzi?
In it? That haircut looks so stupid in game. Yeah, Aguero, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, they're fucking too right. They deserve it, innit?
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Let's get him.
Oda's making enough money. He can, you know, work out how to dump the exposition without taking fucking 200 chapters to do it. Damn.
Like, I don't know. Like, One Piece. I'm just gonna wait till it ends and I'll finish reading it.
That'd be nice.
You can wait 5 fucking years or something like that.
It's like, at this point, because he has to, like, constantly drop hints throughout, people are getting to the point where they know how it's going to end, or, like, they have a very good idea of how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there'll be some things it's like, oh, which characters are going to die and which whatever. But because he's based so much stuff off, like, mythology and
Foreshadowing and
he's
shit.
dropped these hints to foreshadow and stuff, it really does look like it's going to go a certain way. And if it does go that certain way, then it's still a cool story and it's still going to have a great ending. But I didn't have to sit through fucking... How long was Dressrosa? Like 100 chapters? Like,
But
more
what's the
even?
actual
Like,
ending that they're predicting?
So I guess spoilers, even though it's like not really, because how could it... Oh my days.
That was Ray Beanable as well.
Oh my god. So the ending idea is... Do you remember the whole bit where it was like, we predict that Luffy is going to destroy Fishman Island?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So that stems from the fact that part of how All Blue can be found,
Okay.
All Blue is a real thing, but it's where all the seas come together.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exist anywhere because the red line is in the way. So there's 5 seas, the Grand Line, which has the red line around it, and then East Blue, West Blue, North Blue, South Blue. But there's nowhere where they can all meet together because there's a giant fucking wall in the way.
Okay.
So the idea is that they're supposed to rise the ship, the one that was buried at the bottom of the ocean. They're supposed to
Pluton,
rise
whatever
that
it is.
up, and they're supposed to break the walls down.
Okay.
And by doing so, yes, they will destroy Fishman Island, but they will create All Blue.
Okay.
So that's 2 things down. Another thing is Elbath. That's going to be like the final island they go to before the big
Big R.
the big ending,
Yeah.
the big finale, and it's going to be a case of certain pirates and certain marines are going to switch sides based on the information that comes out about what was hidden and how they put up the walls to separate the seas and stuff.
Okay.
And the ending, this is based on Greek mythology, but I'm not a Greek mythology buff per se. But supposedly, like, there's loads of names they've used for stuff that, oh my days. Okay. There's loads of names they've used for stuff that's very clearly hinting at certain things taking place, and I think one of them is supposedly Shanks is definitely going to die.
Oh, okay.
And what happens beyond that, I don't really know the story, but I think it's like an alliances thing. There's certain alliances, and Shanks is gonna have to die, and Luffy's gonna have to become the Pirate King, and yada yada. Long story short, they're gonna getting a little bit big for your boots there. They're basically gonna have to fuck up the entire ocean, the entire system, get rid of all of the celestial dragons, get rid of all of, literally destroy, quote unquote, heaven, and yeah.
Okay.
That's a rough. Like the guy who made the original like theory on this, which I think most people are saying is probably accurate. It's like pages, bro. It's like pages. So to read all of it, like off the top of my head, I can't exactly, but that's a rough guide.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna edit my.
And while I was ranting, you got your first win of the day.
Yay! We'll play swaps, but I'm gonna put my best players on the pitch and shit.
Okay, can you change the settings so you can give like max chemistry? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I'll have a look once I sort this out. Let's put you on.
Like I think there is a. Hold on.
Put Omri over there.
I'll try and squeeze my best players in.
So like a bit of bunty, you know.
If you can get max chemistry there, that will be funny.
I have max chemistry right now. Okay, that'll do. I'll put him on as well. Let's finish that. Ah, that's decent. Okay.
I'll go for that hybrid team. I can probably squeeze some good players in there.
I've got 3 5-star skillers. That's pretty sick. 5-star skills.
Who have I even got? My players drop off fast. It's like 85, 82.
Let me send the old Invi.
Oh, I could do that. That'd be good for Chem. And then let's get rid of Look Man.
Look, man. And you consume way too much. Like fucking. I don't think I've actually read a new manga this year.
Oh really?
Like,
I've read a lot. The thing is, I do make a point of taking the time to, you know, I always have one series I'm reading. So like right now, for the first time, I'm actually going to finish Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh shit!
I never finished it before when I was a kid. I did have a lot of the volumes. I owned a lot of them, but I didn't own. So I'll give you a brief overview. They have Yu-Gi-Oh! Original.
Okay.
Then they have Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, which is probably the one you're familiar with because that's the anime, as we saw it. And then there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium World.
You fucking bum.
I guess that's alright.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I can get God of Guerrero, it's worth 2. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And so right now I'm on Millennium World, but I've reread the whole thing so far. There is also this other series called Yu-Gi-Oh! R, but I haven't looked into it much, but just based on my first look at the first couple of pages, A, it's filler, but in a manga, and B, it's I don't think Kazuki Takahashi wrote it. I think somebody else did. So it's kind of not what I wanted. But we've I've got through. Let's see. I got through the original, but I've read that a load of times. It's not that long. It's like 7 volumes.
Shit.
All right, that's 2.
Fuck you.
And then I got through Duelist, which I think I hadn't fully watched before, but I'd seen the ending from something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and I roughly knew how it ended. One thing I will say for people that have read that, the only person that beats Marek the entire tournament without cheating is Joey.
Best duelist.
Joey is the only duelist that. Bear in mind, like, I know it's like a whole meme. It's like, oh, you're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck or whatever, but he is the only person that legitimately beats Marek. Bakura. No, Marek.
Same thing.
He's the only person that legitimately beats Marek, right? Even when Marek is cheating, and the only reason he loses is because Marek does some bullshit where it's like, oh, well, like your soul and it's all separated, and like if he doesn't wake up, then he forfeits, and so he didn't wake up, so he forfeited. But he's legitimately the only person that beat Marek. And then everyone else that fights him like loses or whatever, except Yugi, who wins, and Yugi straight up cheats. And that's the only, like, in every single battle, you're just like, that's not in the rules. That's not how it works. You're cheating. And there's so many times where it's like, oh, they can't continue, so they lose. Like, no, you just fucking send him to jail.
He's molesting people.
He just fucking like yeeted someone's soul out of their body. Like, send them to jail.
It's mine now, boy.
And fucking, I don't know. It's kind of bullshit, and it kind of didn't make much sense. But that ends, and then Millennium World is the story of the Pharaoh trying to get his memories back, and they're trying to find the name of the Pharaoh or whatever. Oh shit, it's Aguero, isn't it?
Give it back.
and the basic premise is he goes back to Egypt. He is sent back to Egypt when they assemble all the relics, the Millennium items, and they have to then find their way into his memories in ancient Egypt and try and find what his real name actually was. And when they find that, they'll be able to bring it all together, and he'll be freed from his like prison inside the Millennium puzzle, right?
Okay.
Now, I'm not very far into this, so I can't tell you if there's a reason for this. But they introduced this character in the first couple of chapters who... I don't know why it wasn't Shardy. It could have just been Shardy, right?
Okay.
But they've introduced this other guy that has all of Shardy's Millennium items, who is like working for or working with Shardy. And he is not only drawn a little bit racist.
Fuck yeah.
He is not only like just has an awful character design, but he's also got this whole thing of like he has these like holes in his body where he can store all the Millennium items.
Okay.
Like imprints in his body that
cheese
they
man.
can be pushed into. Yeah, like a cheese man. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, what the actual fuck? Who the fuck approved this? This is such a pile of bollocks. I do not care about this character at all. I don't know why he's in the series. Okay, they needed a guide. Why couldn't it be Shardy? I don't... Maybe when I read the manga a bit further, I will understand. Maybe not. I don't know. But it was all very bizarre, very creepy, and I don't know how I feel about this arc. But another thing I didn't realize, in the manga, Bakura just kills Pegasus.
Oh.
In order to get the Millennium Eye, which he needs for his, he needs
domination.
all of the Millennium items, he just fucking rips it out of Pegasus's face and kills him.
Ah, family friendly.
Well, obviously they changed that in the anime.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I was just like, oh my, is he dead? And then he just never came back. I'm like, oh, he's dead.
Bro, I checked the Wikipedia, said he's dead. Must be dead.
Man dead. Oh my. Was that the hair again?
Yes, I'm selling him. Give me Aguero back, you fiend.
So yeah, I've read a lot. Yu-Gi-Oh is what I'm reading right now. Once I finish Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm not sure what I'm going to move on to. There's a few things I've had in mind. I might read Otokojuku or something like that. I read all my weeklies and monthlies as well.
Bruh.
I always like to be reading something because like otherwise, like the amount of times I've like, oh, I've got a day off, and it's like I just do nothing. It's like, well, at least I've got that on my phone, so like during my lunch break at work, read some manga, taking a shit, read some manga, having a bath, read some manga, like
busting a nut, read some manga.
But just stuff like that. You get me? Like any free time, just squeeze it in.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I swear to God, if you've got a fucking whistle now.
Blow it.
Murata is so fucking shit. Discard him. I don't think he has any skill moves, man. He's like a fucking elephant on the ball.
Yo, Aguero is pretty good. I'm just saying. Aguero is pretty good.
New Aguero would be good.
I don't know what else I read. Like,
everything. Robert read everything.
I read a lot. I did read a lot. I didn't watch that much, but I read a lot.
Fair enough. Your literature and vocabulary must be through the roof.
No.
Me dumb still.
Me dumb still.
See you jumping.
You could do that.
Putting it back in a fucking net. Oh, eat my ass!
That's a good effort, I'm not gonna lie.
Bruh. I still don't get how you're supposed to get in the corner because the little thing will never go there.
No, I have no idea. Don't ask me, man. I've never scored a free kick on any FIFA, I don't think. Except maybe once on Pro Clubs.
Like, I've hit the bar on this one a few times. It just seems to consistently hit the bar.
Oh yeah, speaking of Shonen Jump, we've got some new series starting up. Zipman just started up. A Gravity Boys just started up. Or is it A Gravity? I don't know. And there's like 2 or 3 new ones starting in the next few issues. So they're really getting ready for all these other series ending, which is kind of sad. Kimetsu no Yaiba's gonna end. We Never Learn's gonna end.
One Piece.
Promise Neverland's gonna end. Not One Piece. Still not One Piece. But yeah, I'll be a little bit sad because Kimetsu no Yaiba is probably like going to be one of my favorites of all time. It just is. I don't actually know what's going to happen with Haikyuu because it kind of feels like, I don't know, like this arc is just so not what I'm used to. I actually don't know what direction they're going in.
Why would you pass down there?
It could end soon. I don't know if it will, but it could if they decided
to end it.
Well, it's like they had this whole build-up of like winning the tournament and that, and then they lost, and then instead of being like, oh, we'll come back next year, which is what they normally do, they just jump straight into a time skip, and they skip past all of that shit.
Oh, fucking sweaty pedo!
and then like the current arc, I don't want to spoil it too much. I don't know. Spoilers for Haikyuu, probably, I guess. But like the whole thing with Hinata and the other like kid that's like short, that's also good at volleyball. They had their whole showdown and Hinata lost. And now, in the future, they're getting their rematch. And that other kid is now on the... You got Thierry Henry!
Yeah, loan though.
Thierry Henry! And so the other short kid is on the same team as Kageyama now. And Hinata is now on the same team as one of my favourite characters, Bokuto. And... I don't know, it feels like at any point they could just be like, yeah, this is the end. After this match, this is the end. Or they could build this into a whole new Olympics arc or World Cup arc, or I don't know.
We'll see.
We will see. I'm intrigued. If it does just end, that'd be kind of disappointing. Oh, watch this. Watch this.
I'm watching. I'm still watching.
I thought you'd take a touch then cross. You just tried to cross it while it was in midair.
I can't fucking get a goal, Morata. He's so fucking like just disgusting.
Well, at least you can get him with Henri. That's what I won.
That went offside. I was literally got my ruler out and saw it was offside.
Got my ruler out. Mbappe's just that fast. Bro, you got in front of Mbappe and Thierry Henry. Why are you not winning?
Because I'm trying to score. I want to get the 2 goals.
Actually, that's a bad idea.
I swear to God.
No!
Okay, get in your goal.
Oh, come on.
Right, now this is where we play.
Is this where we play?
Oh, fuck's sake.
No!
Don't, not to him. Mbappe missed.
Oh no. You heard about Van Dijk. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good life we live in.
Yeah, he's big.
Oh, look at this. Gareth.
Oh, you got Gareth G. Bale, one of the world's most expensive footballing men.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk to you about. 2020.
Okay.
What's the master plan?
Yeah.
What you got? What's your ideas for 2020?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mariah. It's the same as last decade and the decade before. YouTube. No. Honestly, I don't know. Like it's really weird this decade because it'll be the first decade not in education type of thing. Like,
yeah, we're starting it off as working boys.
Yeah, it's like none of the decades really had an impact. Like obviously the turn of millennial or millennia, whatever. Like I can barely remember it. Didn't have an impact then. The 2010s we were still in school, so it really didn't feel like much. But no, 2020s it's like shit, man. Man's gonna be like over 30 something by the end of this decade and shit. It's like
I'm gonna die soon. Right?
Yeah, it's like bro, it's like fuck. It's like we're not in school or anything like that. It's like oh damn. So like for me, like the plan is to just get a good job, like get good P's, get something, like be happy, I guess. Like I can't even joke around saying YouTube and Twitch fame because like that shit's impossible. Like I'm not optimistic as I used to be anymore, which is kind of sad. Please go in. Oh, for fuck's sake. I really don't know. I really don't know. I feel like 2020 will be a big year. I think it will be a big year because hopefully maybe I'll start a proper career. Maybe content creation would be great, but that's always gonna be a side thing until if ever it goes anywhere. But I think it's literally just try and get a good job or die trying or just like start my own rap career. We'll see.
That's fair.
Like I just don't know. I just can't think that far. Like if you think back to 2010, where do you see yourself in 2020? Like I couldn't predicted this.
Oh no. In 2010, like, what? Like, we were just hoping that high school would go on forever.
Yeah.
But I have a plan.
Oh, it's a master plan.
It's a lot more granular than your plan.
Okay.
It's a lot more focused. Basically, 2020, I'm not going to hope it's going to be my year. I'm going to make it so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry my current job. I'm going to carry on.
Okay.
For the foreseeable future, I intend to carry on this job with the hope of A, building up experience, and B, it gives me a bit more free time than some other jobs would do because it's quite close to home and the hours are kind of flexible. It gives me a bit more time to work on personal projects.
Okay.
In 2020, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real with you people. A lot of these gacha games I'm not playing anymore. I will still be playing Jumputi. 100%. 100%. All the others, it's kind of up in the air, bro. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of up in the air. Okay. Well, most of them are dropped. But I've decided this is the year I'm going to take learning Japanese seriously.
Ooh.
I've bought myself a lot of workbooks and wow.
Wait. Really? Again?
Bro, you make a good game. You make a good game. I'm taking learning Japanese seriously. I've got some workbooks already, and I'm an hour a day on work days, and then I haven't decided what I'm going to do with weekends, but I was thinking like 2 to 3 hours on weekends.
Okay.
On each day I have off, rather. And I'm just going to study. I'm going to start off with the basics. I'm not going to try and learn the spoken language. I'm trying to learn the written language, and then we'll move from there. But that's going to be my first focus. I'm not saying I'm going to learn it all in 2020 because that's ridiculous, but I just want to be in a way better position than I am right now. I want to approach it with the focus of not just, oh, I'm going to learn it for anime gacha. Like, I'm going to like take the proficiency tests.
Oh, okay.
Not this year, but the end goal for learning this, I'm going to take the proficiency test. I want to get to a point where this is something I can put on my resume, and I can use that as a tool to get potentially a better job in the future. And another reason I want to do that is because part of not a 1-year plan, but a 2-year plan is not this summer, probably not next summer, but maybe next the following winter. I'm going to be saving up with the goal in mind of going to Japan then.
Ooh, okay, to work there and stuff.
No, just to visit.
Okay.
Just like maybe a week. Just go out there, experience the culture. You know, try some Japanese food actually from Japan. You know, get some merchandise. You know, I'm not going to try anything too deep. I'm not going to try and like, you know, we're not doing no Logan Paul. None of this. Just want to go and enjoy some of the weeb shit I enjoy from the source, from the tap, you know? And I know that's not all there is to the country, and I kind of want to experience some of the things that I'm not too familiar with also. And I don't know, like I kind of have to go in the winter because I'm not great with heat. I never have been, and I've heard that in Japan in the summer it can get particularly spicy. But I love the cold, so I'll go during the winter, and yes, that would be 2022 winter.
Okay, fair enough. Like
like in the December or something. Like I'll book the time. We're not bound to school holidays anymore, so like I'll book the time off and
That's fair enough.
And I'll go. And that's what I'm going to be saving for. You know, there's a lot of times where I've kind of squandered my funds. But I find if I save money at the start of the year or the start of the month when I get paid, it's easier. Because I just take that money for granted sometimes, but if it's gone, I just take it as, oh, it's gone.
Fair enough. Yes,
it's in the savings. It's not actually gone, but it's as if it's gone. I can't use that money. It's in savings.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm going to be doing. That's my game plan basically for the next couple of years. And in terms of the job I'm currently at, there is a slight upward progression I can take. And we're just gonna
lucky spawn.
We're gonna take it slow with that, and we're just gonna see what happens, because the thing is, it requires me to get some qualifications first, and obviously if I'm doing like learning Japanese and the qualifications at the same time, we're gonna see how much time I have and how possible it is for me to do that, because that sometimes takes 2 years for those qualifications. So we'll see how that goes. But there is a plan in mind. There is a wise Van Dyke up front.
Yeah, I know, but he's probably got a fucking score here, not the gay. Oh, thank God.
Wow. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Like, I gotta refocus. One of the big things I want to do in 2020 is renovate my room, which will also involve renovating my recording setup. And there's going to be a big focus on YouTube, but not in the same way as there was before. I got very lost trying to do like gacha pulls I know we forced it so much sometimes.
Yeah.
I just want to make Jumputi content.
Oh, fair enough.
That's all I want to do. And yeah, there might be times where we make videos like this and other stuff where we, maybe a game has a massive event and we want to jump in on it or whatever. But I just want to make Jump Booty content and not just summons, guides, news videos. Like, I want to do it all. But we're going to start from 2020 because I'm falling behind on the website right now. I've got to catch up on the website. But after I've done that, we're going to have all of...
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's not a penalty. I mean, yeah, I knew that. We're gonna have on the website a bigger focus on proper guides. So I'm gonna work on an event database, and then within the events, I'm gonna have like, here's some popular characters for this event and stuff like that. And we're gonna move away from all the other games. So on the website where I've got it right now, where it's like Stadium, Ore Collection, Jump Booty, it's just gonna be Jump Booty, and we're gonna have the other stuff archived. And I'm sorry to say, but I can't do Ore Collection 2. If somebody else wants to pick it up and do it on our site, I will 100% support that. But I'm not going to be doing it. I'm not going to be involved.
Fair enough.
And
are you fucking?
I want this year to be focused. I don't want to be thinking about, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. I'm going to be doing this and that. And this other shit that was kind of in the back of my mind is dead. I'm not getting involved. Oh shit, it's red.
I've hit the post 3 fucking times, Morata, you absolute sponge. Bro.
Well, I haven't got to go with Aguero yet. So
yeah. Okay, that's respectable. That's respectable. Like,
it's just all about focus. And like that way I can, if I know exactly what I'm doing each day and what I have to do each day, it means that when it comes to stuff like when we were gonna all go TJ Fridays and stuff, like when I can have a day off, I can just be like, fuck it, we're going hard. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna go. We're gonna go out, hang with the boys, have a good time. And I think I just need to work harder, man. I noticed this. We were playing some like Christmas games and stuff, some like trivia and I don't know, just general like movie quiz, general knowledge, all that stuff. My brain is on like a 5-second tape delay.
Yeah.
Like compared to like some of the other people we were playing with, like my brother-in-law and stuff, they're like. For me, one of the questions was like, "Who's the alter ego of Bruce Banner?" And I heard Bruce, and I tried to jump on it, and I said Batman because I thought it was Bruce Wayne, and everyone's just looking at me. I'm like, "What? No, I did it wrong." And yeah, I don't know. I just like, I feel like it'd be good for me. I feel like it's a good place to.
Yeah, keep the brain flowing, the juices going.
And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be like some like high level Japanese man like that Dogen guy that like speaks like great Japanese with like the accents and everything. I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna be like a teacher or anything. I need another language, and that's the only one that speaks to me.
Fair enough.
It'd be good for me to learn it. And if anybody is listening this far in the podcast, first of all, thank you very much. We very much appreciate it because you're probably one of the only people that are. And second of all, if you do have any tips for learning Japanese, please do let me know because I will need every little bit of help I can get. Because, I've always kind of struggled with languages. So
even English.
Especially English. But when we were learning Spanish, like I just couldn't do it. But I feel like if I'm focused on it and I'm just forcing myself to do a bit every day, something good can come of it. Even if I only learn a little bit, as long as I'm learning, it's good.
That's okay.
And
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically, I wanted to nail down a game plan. I know you've kind of been thinking about, like, leaving your job.
Yeah, like
at least looking for something else.
I've been looking. I've also been playing around with the idea of maybe getting a master's.
It might not be a bad idea.
Like, I was just thinking, if I did work for another year, you know, at the job and that, like, if I feel like I could do a year of education while doing this full time in the background. I just feel like maybe, like, I might not do anything with it, but it'd just be nice to have a higher level like qualification. It might help me out later on.
Yeah, I'm noticing that, like, I know you hate this as well. It does feel like every time it's like, you need this, and then you go and get it, and it's like, well, that's not good enough. You need this.
Yeah.
But like, if you've got a master's, that still puts you out ahead in terms of a lot of different like fields of study. Yeah. So maybe certain jobs will come to you a bit more. Like, what would you do a master's in?
I was doing it in IT. They offer an IT one.
Okay.
At the uni I went to here. I think I'll maybe try and do that, or maybe go into the actual University of Bristol. But I've just been playing around with it, just thinking maybe I might do this, maybe I might do that. It's an option. Just see where it goes, really. Like, the Japanese thing's cool, like, that you're doing. I want to go to Japan at some point as well. I think it'd be lit. I don't think I could do teaching or shit. Like, I got offered to teach China, like, over in China just before, well, when my degree ended here, and I was like, nah, no, thank you. I'm glad I didn't.
It would have been interesting.
It's a war zone.
But I feel like, well, parts of China there are definitely some issues, so I think it would be quite difficult. You know, every country has its problems. Some have more than others.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. But I think, like, it's also like, I think a lot of people that say like Japan's great, but it's like, because it's, if you were living there, you'd have to live with a lot of the issues that come with living there.
Yeah. Whereas
it's the same as like when someone says, "Oh yeah, England, like, oh, Big Ben, oh, we'll go around to all the clubs and all this." It's like, but if you live there, you see the parts of it that's like, "Oh, this is a shithole."
Yeah.
We live in a shithole. And so, like, I think some people do say that about, like, you do that in any country. You do that in France. All the people that are like, "Oh yeah, you know, you go to Paris and you go to the Louvre and you go to the Eiffel Tower," but then you don't see the problems.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a concern of mine. Like, I don't necessarily want to go to Japan and see the issues with the country as much as I would just like to go on holiday and enjoy it. And then maybe down the line, consider, if I enjoyed the holiday, going to live there.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I'm trying to be smart. I'm not trying to be like, "Oh, I'm a weeb. I've got to go to do weeb stuff." I want to think about these things, you know?
Yeah, not fair enough. Like, same thing, really. Like, I would consider doing anything right now. If any opportunity came up, I'd be like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Like, straight up. Like, if I went to Japan for a bit, say if like a holiday was cool, and like, I don't know, got offered like a job doing something for a year, I'd be like, that's only a year. That was ridiculously ugly.
Aguero!
Bruh.
That would have made it for all.
I guess we'll see. I guess I'll go with the flow type of thing. Like, if anything comes my way, I think just gotta get on it now.
I think for you that might be a bit better because you're not particularly happy with how things are at your job.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas with me, while it's been a bit of a rough period,
content.
I think in general I can be content with this job, especially, like, obviously the pay is not where it needs to be in order for me to live off of it properly. But in a way, getting experience under your belt, potentially getting them to pay for some qualifications under my belt, and it gives me the free time because it's so close that I can do some studying and stuff. Like, it's a very good position for me to be in just for a couple of years, just to try and advance myself a little bit.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough. Oh, I've got an itchy big nose. Fuck.
Plus, I'm paying into like a government housing scheme as well at the same time, so
I just started
we'll see how
drugs.
that goes. That'd be nice.
Could be easier. I think this decade will be very interesting.
No.
I'm curious to see. Well, obviously, see the end of the decade. I'm curious to see the end of 2020 more of where I will be, type of thing. I think a lot will go down this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Big changes compared to maybe like down the line type of thing. So I'll just see what happens.
There's also a big thing. Like, I know the way the world seems to be like moving forward, things are just getting crazy now. Like, the amount of like we obviously we have like natural disasters, but we also have like cool technological advances, and then we'll have bad stuff again, like stuff like what happened over in Hong Kong, and America's had some issues as well, like England's had some issues. There's been all these kind of crazy things going on, but at the same time there's all these cool things going on. It's like as we're moving forward, things seem to get cooler and cooler, but also get crazier and crazier. It's like 2 years down the line, we don't really know what kind of situation we could be in, but I'm hoping things are stable enough that my plan can go through.
My master plan. Yeah, no, fair enough. 100% fair enough. Oh, they went over there. For once, maybe generally have a positive outlook, you know?
That's what I've been trying to do, you know? Like this year, I did my best to be like very... So like for Christmas, I've realized that like, because I'm the youngest of my family, there's a lot of people giving to me over the years. Like when we go out to the pub or out for a meal, they're normally covering the bill, and they like I get invited over to their houses for meals and stuff. Like if we go to the cinema, someone else will normally pay. Like even though I've got a job, I'm earning less than these people, yes, but sometimes you feel a little bit like I should be contributing a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it came to Christmas, and I was like, this is actually a pretty nice opportunity to give back to people that give a lot to me. So, I gave out a lot of gifts where, I kind of felt like my parents obviously done a lot for me this year. My sister and her husband were hosting the meal. My other sister and her husband had to come down all the way from Newcastle. And bear in mind, she is pregnant.
Oh, fair enough.
So it's like a whole thing, and like I was just like, I just want to give a bit more than I normally would, a lot more than I normally would actually, and just it was quite satisfying. I just want kind of more positivity, more
cool vibes,
and even though it did like cost, obviously it cost money to do that, but it's like it was different because I said, okay, I'll put a little bit aside each month. Just put a little bit aside. And that's what I'm going to be doing from here on out, because I've realized it's a lot easier to save than I thought it was. You just put that money aside at the start of the month.
You don't spend it.
In another bank account that is like a pain in the ass to deal with. Like I've got all my accounts on my app except for my Halifax ones, which are somewhere else. I don't have the app for that. I don't have a card for that one. I'd have to go all the way down to their establishment. And by doing that, I make it like it deters me from spending,
Fair enough. That's one. Yeah, okay.
And I did that with the Christmas presents almost as a test of like, can I do it? It's like, yeah, I can. So I'm saving up for my holiday now, and potentially some other cool things. So
that's good. It's a positive Robbie.
I'm trying to be. And
if you guys just make us YouTube famous, we'll take that as well.
Well, that seems unlikely, but I am going to be working on YouTube projects, But like I said, a lot more focus on Jump Hootie. If there was anything people wanted to see that was not gacha game related, and they are still watching this video, let us know. If not, anything you want to see on Jump Hootie, I'd be willing to work on. Anything you want to see Terry work on, let him know, and we'll see if we can. We'll see what we can do,
Hell yeah. It's good. Really good.
I think it'd be good for us. A little bit different. You got to remember, one of our most viewed things on our channel was guides, OPTC guides, through story mode.
Oh, you fucking bum. Yeah, true. Yeah, actually,
so, yeah. I think it's only fair. I'll probably just try and do that for Jump Hootie. And I kind of want to be like, I don't want to get too cocky, but I kind of want to be like a pillar for people to like work off of. Because it's so difficult coming into one of these Japanese games. You don't know what characters are good. You don't even know like how the events work, how the gacha work, like how many rubies you're gonna get from story mode, stuff like that. Just want to give people that,
He wants to be the man, the Jump Hootie man. Fair enough. Okay. Ah. I think I've run out of things to say.
Well, we've got one more thing to talk about.
Oh, the big thing.
It's football.
That thing.
Playing football, not well, watching football. No, watching football, not play.
Yes.
Not FIFA. Real football. That's what I mean.
Real life. Oof.
Oh.
So.
How are your team doing?
Team are doing very average. Yes.
Yeah, very average.
Arsenal
yeah.
below average. Definitely.
Below average. Very much below average.
I think you will get relegated.
I don't know about that. It's been a rough year for Arsenal. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It has been rough.
You got Action Man now.
Did you just call Mikel Arteta
He
Action
looks like
Man?
Action Man. That haircut,
Okay.
the no emotion, Action Man.
I have high hopes for him, not necessarily to win us the league, win us Champions League, not like that, but to get us out of this like horrific slump. I think he can build what we have into a better squad.
Yeah, and you get a better manager in the end.
Possibly down the line, get a better manager.
Oh.
But I'm happy with his appointment simply because with Emery, it just kind of like it just felt a bit like the same old shit Arsenal was doing. We still had the same problems where we were passing around the back when we didn't need to. We still had the same problems where we had these great strikers that just never shot. Same problem of like midfielders that didn't know how to defend and they just left the defense exposed. The only good thing that came of Emery was we got Leno, who I think is a fantastic goalkeeper. And I guess the hope is that Arteta's going to build off of that. And the place to start would be defense and midfield. And I'm just praying. Fucking praying he knows what he's doing.
We will see. We will see. It's a curious game.
It's going to take a while to see. But I do really feel like sometimes these players just need someone in their ear to say,
You shit. Play.
shit, you're doing this wrong. Whatever you've been taught to do, you've got some bad habits, you need to fix them. I think like that was a thing in did you ever watch Entourage?
Now and then back in the day.
It's kind of like a jokey show mostly, but there was one bit where it was kind of played off a little bit, but like the director's just saying you've got bad habits, you have to know that you need to train these out. And he's like, I don't have any bad habits. Like, no, listen, you have bad habits. And it's like so many of these players just do things that it's like, why did you pass the ball across your own 6-yard box when there's a striker right? Why are you passing back to the goalkeeper when he can't pick up the ball and he's got a striker right there? Why do you keep passing when like you're on the edge of the area when you could have a shot? The guy you're passing to is marked. Like, why are you messing about? There's so many bad habits in that team.
Yeah, fair enough.
They could just get rid of them.
We'll see.
And like, I'm sorry, I know there's a whole like disagreement with the whole Xhaka thing and the Özil thing. My bottom line with Xhaka is, yes, you got booed. Yes, anybody who's at work who's getting shit on is going to be pissed off. And I don't in any way condone any of the stuff that some other people have been doing, some of the like the horrific like racist chanting and stuff. But people who have paid £60 to watch you, and you're throwing a hissy fit, and you're not playing the game properly, and you're realistically playing like shit, they have the right to at least boo you.
Yeah,
they
you
do.
get like $100,000 a week.
You get paid. Like, I know some people say, "Oh, the money doesn't factor in." You get paid so much fucking money to go out there and be mediocre. And I don't know why you're still getting played. Maybe because they couldn't admit fault in signing you. But you're shit. And if you can improve, everyone will be very happy. But if you don't, then they have to live with how shit you are. You're actually like, oh,
The BAP.
the bad. You're not quite, you're not quite what we wanted. Is the reality, and I think we have better players in the squad. Is the truth. I think Guendouzi is better. I think Torreira, depending on the team you're playing, is better. And I don't know. Yeah. And I think with Ozil,
Too old.
he could do so well, just not in the Prem. He can never show how good he could potentially be while he's in the Prem. Because this league, it's just too rough. I'm not saying we're like the best league in the world, but we are one of the roughest top tier leagues in the world. If he went to Spain, if he went to Italy, if he went to France, if he went to America, he can't go to China now. You know, not that he would have wanted to, and I 100% do not blame him for not wanting to. If he went to any of those other countries, I think he really could have
Shine.
Yeah, he really could have been something special, for like the way he was at Real Madrid. You know, just not in the Prem. It's unfortunate, but some players it's like Giovanni Dos Santos at Tottenham. He just could not be what he had the potential to be in the Prem. It was impossible.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right. Who do you think is going to win the league?
Liverpool.
It's obviously going to be Leicester with Brendan Rodgers.
Didn't they just lose to Liverpool?
They let him have it, you know, mind games.
Oh yeah. It's mind games. They're gonna slip up in the second half of the season.
Hey, Tottenham done it. Lots of teams done it.
This is like the year, or the last couple of years have been the lead up to Liverpool finally breaking their curse. If they win the Prem here, that means they've won it all, and they're finally out of their
Who dear.
their massive slump. Whereas next year next year, a lot of credit goes to Jurgen Klopp. A lot of credit goes to players like Van Dijk and
Mane, Salah,
Mane and Salah. Oh my god.
James Milner.
To be fair, James Milner,
Yeah, he is banging.
class. And you know what it is? A professional.
Yes.
Man's a professional. A real professional. Oh my god, that deflection. Oh my god.
Sponge, I swear to God.
And I gotta say, I think if they do win, they deserved it. And if they don't win, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So, either way, I can't say I'm not, City last night probably lost their last.
Oh my word, I didn't actually tell him to come out there. Oh.
Well then. Torreira scored a header. I think he's 5'4".
Oh my word.
City last night lost what was probably their last chance
Yeah.
to claim the league when Edison got sent off after 10 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
And then, was he really offside there? Oh, I guess we'll never know. It was a shame, but again, even if Edison gets sent off, the thing that let them down is they had to sub off Aguero, and
You need it.
their reserve goalkeeper Bravo, is not a bad goalkeeper. So even with 10 men, they could have still won that game, and they got a penalty as well. That was what put them ahead. They got a penalty, and I think they missed it, but scored just after. They still lost, and that's pretty much City out of it. Leicester, pretty much out of it. I don't know. They could still come back.
They're playing good football.
It's just everyone relying on Liverpool to completely fuck up.
Yeah, I don't see it. Their team looks scary. Straight up.
Unless they got some mad injuries, which can happen. But unless they do, I think they've got it in the bag,
It's just a shame. I wanted Tottenham to win it.
I mean, Arsenal had realistically no hope, so...
I don't even know what happened to the Spuds, really. It's like they got bare lazy.
I was trying to be mega sweat there.
And Jose Mourinho, bro, if you said that 2 years ago or even a year ago, I was like, no, never in a million years. It's like, oh, wow.
It's a very odd situation, but money can do that.
Yeah, money can do that. Money can do that.
Money makes the world go round.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm actually curious who he's going to sign. Because obviously he's been a checkbook. Wait, no, they say checkbook manager. He has brought that through, but he does a big signing now and then.
What he normally does is bring in experience rather than, He's not going out and signing like the promising 19-year-old. He's signing the like 28-year-old that scores bare goals.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Ibrahimovic instead of AC Milan.
Hey,
I'll take that.
Ibra did score some fat goals. I'm just saying.
Hey, he looked really good at like Man U as well. So I don't know. I'm curious about them. I'm curious how Tottenham will do. I feel like he's going to get a new centre back because they just can't defend. They're just like.
It's really weird, but like every so often, I just think like, oh, Spurs' defense ain't that bad, and then you just get thumped, and it's like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like generally, I don't think he's like a clean sheet since he's been manager, and they've just been shipping goals. I'm like, that's not the Mourinho way.
Yeah.
We'll sign John Terry.
Oh.
De Gea is actually the worst keeper in the world and universe. I'm actually
Right, being a baller, your chance to turn it around.
Oh, that's a fucking red.
Well, fucking sit down.
Okay. What about it? What's the team that's been the biggest disappointment? I already know who I'm going to pick.
Man U, probably, right?
You'd say Man U, but I'd say Everton.
Oh yeah, Everton. They've been rough this year.
They spent bare peas. Yeah, they look really good. Then they've just been shit. Like,
they got loads of players. You're like, oh, he's not bad, and he's not bad, and then you actually like see how their results work out. You're like, oh,
yeah, like that.
Maybe not.
That Keane from Juventus. I was like, damn, like that's a pretty good signing. Like,
that's a good signing. That's a good signing.
Oh, no goals. No, it's just
no.
I felt really sorry for Marco Silva because I was watching those games of like you spend this money, tactics probably quite right as well, and just nothing went your way once. Every game, just like oh no, that was an easy goal. The player should have. Oh okay, maybe not. It's like I feel for you, bro. You get a fat compensation payoff though.
Yeah, he gets payoff. Don't worry,
bro.
Okay then.
Just like the Omri of old. But Man U. Whew.
Man U, I mean, I didn't know what to expect going into the season, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. I definitely didn't expect it to be this bad.
Just get rid of Lukaku, the one player that was scoring bad goals.
Yeah, but also like, I don't know. I guess they thought, well, he hasn't been as good as they hoped he'd be, so they thought they'd bring in something better, but that hasn't really worked out for them.
Rashford's okay, but it's just like,
I like Rashford, but he kind of needs. There needs to be someone else. There needs to be two.
And Mason Greenwood looks alright, but maybe another year.
Well, that's the same problem we're having though. There's loads of players we got in our squad right now. It's like another year, another 2 years.
Oh, good save.
It's like that Saka, and it's like you're watching him play. It's like there's definitely something here, but you shouldn't be playing in this game, not yet.
Another year or two. Oh, what a ball. Up.
Okay.
Alright, who's going to win the Championongo League?
Fuck, I don't even know who's in it anymore.
I can't remember if Tottenham got out. We got banged by Bayern Munich at bad time, so like, I feel like we should be out.
Yeah.
That should be Liverpool.
Norman.
I feel like it's going to be Juventus, 100%.
Alright, Juventus. Ronnie adds another medal to his trophy case or whatever.
Barcelona. Like Griezmann, like, nah. He ain't been getting on with Messi.
Oh no. Which is a shame because I love Griezmann as a player, but that's another thing. Like Messi is very particular about who he plays with and how they play and all this, and that's kind of what happened with Alexis Sanchez and Pedro. Like two amazing players, and Messi was like, "No, don't play them." And then they lost the league to Atletico. It's like, but if you played them, you would have won. It's like, no.
I don't know. Like, I haven't been able, like, with this job, I haven't been able to watch as much football as I wanted to, which is kind of sad.
I've watched a few games. I've watched a few games here and there.
Which is disappointing as usual as a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, same for us, buddy.
West Ham getting absolutely slapped, which is nice.
That's the upside. That's the upside.
I can't think, like, Newcastle, they're doing okay. Some Wolves are doing okay. Watford. I don't know. There's just like a lot of underperforming things. It's like that meme at the beginning of the year with like FIFA 20, like, oh yeah, career mode's bare busted. It's like, actually no,
Actually,
it's doing okay. Other than that, I can't think of anything else to talk about.
yeah, not really. I mean,
We're going for 2 hours.
it's been a long year for both of us, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we need 2020 to be a good year
Please.
for both of us,
Please.
hopefully.
So if you have got this far in the commentary, comment down below egg.
Comment down below, yeah.
And yeah, what discussion piece can we start? How was your decade? How was your 2019? What you doing going forward? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your plan for next year?
We'll leave on positive vibes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next decade. Bye-bye.
Bye.